Welcome to the Making of Me podcast, where we explore the moment that shape who we have become. Today, I'm joined by Warren William, leadership guide, creator of Energetic Acme, and a pioneer in helping high performing and neurodivergent leaders move from force driven success into clarity, alignment, and sustainable flow. It's really a pleasure to have you on the show, Warren.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Looking forward to having this conversation with you.
Yeah, thank you. So, what were those some of those challenges that shape you into who you are today?
I don't really see things as challenges. I only ever see things as opportunities. And in reality, everything is about perspective. So, example of something I say to people, you either go to the gym because you hate your body, or you go to the gym because you love your body. Both get you to the gym, but it's a completely different perspective. And so,
Yeah.
is it a challenge or is it an opportunity to grow? And if you see it as a challenge, you want to run away from it. But if you see it as an
Yeah,
opportunity, you run towards it and you try to overcome it.
yeah, so true. Amazing, amazing. Also, you have said your journey began with an obsession with perfection at a very young age. How did that shape your identity and drive?
Well, there's a few things that shaped me from a younger age. One was reading comics, which seems strange because, the stories are larger than life and they inspire you to be something beyond normal humanity. And so that inspired me. And then the other thing was martial arts that forms a lot of discipline, a lot of focus. And, your mind, I always say to people, your brain lives in your body. And so if you work on your body, you're actually working on your brain and your mind. So those are the key things that kind of inspired me to grow and to become more because it's like growth. It's the one defining thing that everything in nature does. If a tree stops growing, it dies, and it's the same as us. So growth is what inspires me more than anything.
Wow, amazing growth. I think it's very lovely being that either you are intentional about growth or you aren't intentional, growth will always happen. And being intentional just speak volumes about it. Yeah, amazing. So, how did ADHD or heightened sensitivities influence the way you learn to lead?
Yeah, so it's only, I want to speak on this for a second because, obviously I know your podcast is focused on neurodivergence and stuff. And, there's these two terms, neural divergent and then neural typical. There are so many things in the world that are seen as common and then some things that are seen as normal. A lot of times people see neurodivergence as a common thing now, but it's common, not normal. So neurotypical is what people call normal, but it's really perspective. Again, for me, everything is about perspective. And I don't label myself as ADHD or anything like that. And I have a challenge with people that do because oftentimes when you give yourself a label, it defines who you are. And there are some, people like Richard Branson has said he's ADHD. So the point here is don't have a label and then let that label define you. Don't defy the diagnosis, defy the verdict. So the diagnosis
Yeah.
is the verdict is you can't do well in life because of it. So we have to get past labels and definitions and start going into different outcomes based on our perspective and what we can do.
Yeah. So, what led you to realize that energy, not effort, was the missing piece for high performance?
Yeah, it's the thing is that so many people they focus on effort, and what I realized was, we have 24 hours in a day, and what defines the difference again is it's not how much hours in a day, it's the activities and the energy that allows you to create success or an outcome in any given day. So when I started to realize, especially through martial arts and meditation and these things, that it's not about how hard you push, it's about how much you listen. And when you listen, you start to connect to who you are, which is what animals do. Animals, they can't speak. So what they do is they become very receptive and they start to connect to their feelings. And once I realized that you can only push so hard without getting as far as you want, you have to start to listen to the body. And when I even listen to elite athletes, the top 1% of athletes in the world, they all talk about not effort but recovery, and part of that is listening to the body. And when you start to listen to the body, you start to realize there's a lot more information being broadcast. You have to slow down and listen. And in this world of the busy internet and 4-hour TV and stuff, there's so much distortion and so much distraction, and so people can't actually get quiet and listen like the animals do. The animals listen. No one tells an animal, or there's no book that an animal reads to find out what the perfect diet is. they just listen to their instincts. And when you listen to your instincts and you trust the wiring of your body, you actually get the information. As the saying goes, if you don't go within, you go without. So it's about understanding that, and that's where the reflection comes.
We all have the same hour. It's about the action you actually get to do within that specific period of time compared to how
Yeah.
many activities you actually might like get into. Yeah, amazing. So can you explain what an energetic operation system is and why leaders
Mm.
need one?
Yeah, so thanks. So energetic operating systems, so many people create success in life through effort, not through energy. And in order for us to really do well in the world, we have to work from systems. It's not about effort, it's about systems. And when you look at people that are highly successful, what makes them successful is they have repeatable systems. And the repeatable systems are frameworks and methodologies that can be replicated. And if you have a really good system that can be replicated, such as, let's look at football for a second. You have 11 players on one team A and 11 players on team B. Why does team A always win? Because team A has a better system. The same man or woman has two arms and legs on one side. But when I gave the example of this effort thing and the framework, so one team wins against another team because they've got a better framework, they've got a better system.
Yeah.
And so it's not about having the stronger player who can kick a ball better. That's a part of it. The best team is the one that has the best structure or the best system. And so that's basically explaining systems. Energetic operating system is different because now it's about the state and the energy that the person has so that they can operate that system from. So just like what I said to you about going to the gym because you love your body or going to the gym because you hate your body, it's about the state that you're doing it from. And so many people, they are working from effort, not working from reserves. They're not working from love. They're not working from alignment. There are so many people that are successful but unfulfilled. And the reason why they're unfulfilled is because they're doing things simply because they can do it, not because of love. And the energetic operating system is doing something that is in soul alignment. Doing what you love allows you to create beautiful music in the world rather than doing something that you hate because it makes you money, because that creates resentment for the work that you do. So those are patterns that are held in your body. If you constantly go through life and you resent what you do, but it's something that you're good at, you will be successful, but you will not be fulfilled. And there are so many very unfulfilled people in the world because they don't work from an energetic operating system. And the energy is the passion, the love, the vibration, the frequency that you have when you're doing the thing that you do.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for the analogy. It just speak volumes. Yeah, it's key to actually work with system rather than from the effort base. So, Warren, what role does nervous system play in clarity, decision making, and skill?
Yeah. So the nervous system, so I'll explain like this. So we have two branches of our nervous system. We have the parasympathetic, which is rest and recovery, and then we have the sympathetic, which is action, doing, effort. Those are the two branches. And so many people, they do things in the sympathetic. And sympathetic is also fight, flight, adrenaline, reacting to life. And that's the system that many people use. But when you do things properly and you do it in a regulated way, you're working from parasympathetic, which is rest, recovery, and intuition. And when you can do things that way, you don't have to force things to happen. So the nervous system the mind gets its feedback from the nervous system. So if you balance your body by doing things like Tai Chi or Qigong or breath work or stretching or exercise or journaling, all of these things allow the body to slow down. And when you slow your heart rate down, you slow your breathing rate down, your body shifts into parasympathetic or rest and recovery. And when you're in rest and recovery, your nervous system is more balanced. And when your nervous system is at ease, decisions happen easier. And so, therefore, this is great for business leaders. This is great for athletes. This is great for mothers because you're regulated. And when you're regulated, you give feedback to the mind that says you are. Basically, when you can lead from authority and lead from power. And so the way that looks is I always teach this thing of vision, feel, and infrastructure. So soul aligned leadership basically means you have a vision, something that you want to birth in the world, something that you want to create from your soul, something that you want to do not because the marketplace dictates it, but because your soul is passionate about it.
Yeah.
So that is the vision. Once you birth that in your mind and your heart, then the feel is, does it feel in alignment? You have an idea. Does it feel aligned to you? Is it something that you would do for free, as an example? So that's vision and feel. And then once you have vision and feel, then from that place, you should create. And the creation is the systems, the architecture, the structure, the business plan, the operations, the marketing. That stuff should come after it's in alignment and that you see it. And that's a soul aligned leader, as opposed to the opposite of that, which is what's the best thing that makes the most amount of money in 2026? Let me do that. That's not in alignment.
Wow, that was really amazing. Yeah. And I mean, more like being the part that it strengthens you to actually run to day, which is the visions and every other stuff from the perspective of, being passionate, not just from you can actually even get to do it without being paid and, from authority. And that was really amazing. So, Warren, for leaders listening now who feel successful but eternally scattered, where should they begin?
Well, when it comes to leaders, where they should be is firstly is leading from themselves. So there are, the different types of leaders when it comes to business in general. And what the worst type of leader is the tyrant leader. And the tyrant leader is someone that tells you what to do, but from a place of fear, do this or else. I am your boss, do this. That's the worst type of leader because you're not motivating your staff to share your dream. You'll basically get people to follow you or to work for you because you pay them. And that's not what I call a mission partner. So that's the first type of leader. And then the second type of leader is the trade leader. And the trade leader is someone that says, if you do this job, I will give you a bonus. And that's better than the first type of leader. But if that person who works for you gets offered more money at a different job, they'll leave because they are only incentivized to work with you. They're not working with you because they love their job. And then the third type of leader is the best one, which is the servant leader. And the servant leader is someone that wants to come in and ask.
Job or the whole of insight I actually teach during the course of this particular conversation. So, Warren, for my audience who wants to reach out to you, who wants to learn more and who wants to connect with you, how can they reach out to you and where is the best platform?
Yeah, the best platform is Substack. .com/Warren U coaching. And that's the best place for people to reach out because they can get deeper insights into my work. Obviously, they'll get newsletter subscription. And then through that, they can also join my Energetic Alchemy operating systems, which if they're a Substack subscriber, they actually get a discount on my operating systems. And it's basically a way for people to also join my Telegram group, which is a free group of soul aligned leaders. So if they went into Telegram, they could go to Soul Aligned Leaders. And it's in a forum, it's a space, it's a free space for people that want to be able to learn more from me and from the people that are in the group. Because everyone in there is a leader or a teacher of some type, whether they're a mother and they lead their children or a business owner.
So thank you for what you do and thank you for the insight and the depth into the conversation. It really reflects the making of me. So, to our listener, you find the link to the email list and to his website on the show notes. Once again, it's really a pleasure and honor to have you on the show, Warren.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks.